All right, our next contestant number 3, you are bringing to the stage.
Good evening, everyone, and my name is Antonio Mercurius, and the title of this poem is 1 + 1. Okay. My name is Antonio Mercurius. I identify as a black gay male. I am a junior, senior by credits. But I'm a double major of health science and Africana studies on the pre-medical track with a minor in chemistry. Just coming from an all-black community, I never dealt with racism until I got here. Like microaggressions, the use of the N-word to demean black students, calling us monkeys, all these just hateful things, as if we didn't work just as hard to get here. And even if we didn't work hard to get here, even if we weren't here, even if we're out in the street, like those words shouldn't even be used and shouldn't even be in vocabularies of people. Like hate words are just not cool. Hi, my name is Antonio Mercurius. My favorite color is red. I believe milkshakes are heaven sent. I don't like the winter time, so that's why I picked a school in Florida. See, I'm highly addicted to daydreaming and trans facts. Fun fact, I was born a month early. Supposed to be a Mayflower, but instead an April shower that was never expected in my mama's forecast. See, my mama comes from Mobile, Alabama, where blacks are taught to be quiet, to mind their business. See, my dad comes from Guyana, a Caribbean country where we are taught to be loud, to be noisy, to never stop dancing, because there is no such thing as a Caribbean that isn't heard in the next room. See, my last name, Mercurius, stands for curry, heritage, and legacy, all wrapped in roti, to never be consumed by a mouth that couldn't pronounce it right. See, my last name is a full-course meal that always sits heavy in the stomachs of those who try to feast upon us, just to realize we are something that they could never finish. See, my last name is immortal. And my brother tattooed it across his back while I'm carving it into the globe with my words, with my art, with my poetry. See, I've made myself vulnerable on stages for 5 years now, shedding my skins, showing off my sins, delivering us from evil in front of a microphone with no regret of feeling sorry for something said. I speak truth, I spit fire, I singe the ears of those who can't handle it. So if you can't stand the heat, then get out of my classroom, because I turn these stages into lecture halls, transform students into believers, convert their desks into pews, snaps into hallelujahs. See, my name is Antonio Mercurius. I'm 20 years old, 5'10", bad to the bone, one of the 3 green-eyed bandits, which consist of my father, my brother, and myself, all created with the purpose to lure you in with our eyes just to get what we want. I'm a threat, an unrespectable Negro. I'm that boy that makes everything about race when they say it isn't, because it is. I'm a white supremacist worst nightmare, a status quo challenger, unapologetically black, and if you didn't hear it before, I am Antonio Mercurius, Antonio the boss, Antonio the black, the bandit, the poet. Eyes, culture, and wisdom not sold separately, comes in one package that can't be handled by everyone. So yes, I am Antonio Mercurius, and it's so nice to meet you. In the area I grew up in, I was kind of raised to not prove myself, because that's extra work. Like, why the hell should I have to prove myself? Like, who am I even proving myself to? A lot of my poetry comes from my past and me still dealing with it too today. You've wrote about yourself. You've gotten your feelings out. Now change the world. I wrote this poem for you, just like you asked, on our first date while we sat on a park bench in Malcolm X Park, with the trees leaning in to hear our secrets. As our hands eloped, and for a moment everything felt marvelous, so I wrote this for you. To the sounds of Beyonce's 1 + 1, for this was your favorite song to sing and the last one we ever kissed to. That last kiss, it reminded me that you are just like the rest of my ex-lovers, how you put my head over your fireplace as a spoil of war, another territory taken, that even though you've moved on to your next conquest, you still know that I'm waiting for you to return to this homeland. Boy, do you know what you did to me? I still sleep at the door. I linger until you come back, like a puppy that was lost while you go to work. And although I know you may never come home, I wait for you, like the moon waits for the sun, but always ends up missing each other. For you, we're a reminder of something that once brightened my day. For you, we're a constant in my life, but now an X, a variable that means anything, stood for everything, and always for everyone. And I still ask why. Why couldn't I figure you out until the day that you told me we should just be friends? You know, that day after your date with that boy who wasn't me, even after you begged me to be your one and only. I'm confused. What was I to you? Was I just a scarecrow that frightened the loneliness away? So I always ask myself, when did I become a feast for men that couldn't stomach the feelings of what comes after cleaning their plates? See, I prayed to God for someone like you. And that prayer went to voicemail. And I'm stuck on an answering machine of Matthew 7:7, asks, and it will be given to you, but never tells you to be careful for what you pray for. You see, love is a sharp thing to juggle when you're still trying to find your own balance, when you're still trying to learn how to hold yourself above the bar of self-hate. What hand will I juggle this love with? Isn't this the poem you prayed for? Are you sure you want this? Like I was sure I wanted you. Especially those nights when you would pierce the skin on my neck when I least expected. When your hands would grip my thighs and I would look to you as the moon, waning and waxing when things get tough. Never wanted to travel through the darkness with me. For you, we're so afraid of the unknown. See, I miss the nights when our bodies made calligraphy out of the blankets. How your arms became Eden and your chest a pillow made of the same leather as God's throne. To your voice was like a chorus of angels, and our lips would dance all night, exhausted yet satisfied. Now your tongue tasted like exotic and sanctuary, all for you to take these things that I've taught you to someone else, introduce my techniques to someone else, while I laid there and waited for you to return. See, I remember the days that I contorted my body into his wishes, whatever he wanted. I delivered my own head on a silver platter for his consumption, let him pick his teeth with my rib cage, turn my funny bone into his back scratching, my spine into his doormat. See, I took his I like you as the holiest of hymns while my mental was being destroyed by him. See, I've always wondered, why do men find my calamity to be sexy? As they grip my neck, squeeze the salvation out of my sanctuary just to cheat and drown me in my own pool of insanity and relationship insecurities. Now question, why do I wake up the next day, text him good morning, just to do it all over again?